Hello everybody, this is Pastor Green. We're doing another Read the Bible in 1 year, day 34, Leviticus 13 through 15. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, that way you get updated whenever I post a new video. Like the video and also comment. Even if the comment's something like hi, thank you, thumbs up, high five, whatever it is, it really helps with the algorithm. Remember, I'm dyslexic and I stutter, so when I say a big word I sometimes get stumbled up. Just bear with me, and here we go. Leviticus chapter 13. And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, when a man shall have in the skin of his flesh a rising, a scab, or a bright spot, it be the skin of his flesh like the plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought to Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons the priest. And the priest shall look on the plague of the skin of the flesh, and when the hair of the plague is turned white, and the plague is in sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy, and the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. If the bright spot be white in the skin of his flesh, and in sight not be deeper than the skin, and the hair therefore is not turned white, then the priest shall shut up to him that has plague 7 days. And the priest shall look upon him the 7th day, and behold, if the plague on his sight be at its stay, and the plague spread not to the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days more. And the priest shall look upon him again the 7th day, and behold, if the plague be somewhat dark, and the plague spreadeth not to the skin, the priest shall pronounce him clean, but put a scab, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. But if the scab spread much across the skin, after he had been seen the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen for the priest again. And if the priest sees that, behold, the scab spreadeth to the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean, it is leprosy. When the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought to the priest. And the priest shall see him, and behold, if the rising be white in the skin, and have turned the hair white, and there be quick raw flesh of the rising. This is old leprosy of the skin and of the flesh, and the priest shall pronounce him unclean, and shall not shut him up, for he is unclean. And if leprosy break out abroad the skin, and the leprosy cover all the skin of him that has the plague, from his head even to his foot, wheresoever the priest looketh, and the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy have covered all of his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean that has the plague, and is all turned white, he is clean. But when raw flesh appeareth on him, he shall be unclean. And the priest shall see the raw flesh, and pronounce him to be unclean, for the raw flesh is unclean, it is leprosy. Or if the raw flesh turn again, and be changed into white, he shall come to the priest. And the priest shall see him, and behold, if the plague be turned to white, and the priest shall pronounce him clean that has the plague, he is clean. The flesh also in which, even in the skin thereof, was a boil, and he is healed, and the place of the boil with a white rising, or a bright spot white and somewhat reddish, and it be showed to the priest. And if when the priest seeth it, behold, it be in the sight lower than the skin, and the hair therefore be turned white, the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy broken out from the boil. But if the priest look on it, and behold, there be no white hairs therein, and if there be no longer than a skin, be somewhat dark, and the priest shall shut him up 7 days. And if it spread much abroad the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean, it is a plague. But if the bright spot stays in his place, and spread not, he is a burning boil, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. Or if there be any flesh in the skin, wherefore there is a hot burning, and the quick flesh that burneth have a white bright spot, somewhat reddish or white, then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the hair is a bright spot be turned white, and in the slight deeper than the skin it is leprosy, broken out of the burning, wherefore the priest shall pronounce him unclean, it is a plague of leprosy. But if the priest look upon it, and behold, there is no white hair in the bright spot, and there be nowhere than a leather skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. And the priest shall look upon him the 7th day, and if he be spread much abroad the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean, it is a plague of leprosy. And if the bright spot stay in this place, and spread not to the skin, but it be somewhat dark, it is a rising of the burning, and the priest shall pronounce him clean, for it is an inflammation of the burning. If a man or woman have the plague upon the head or of the beard, and the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it is a sight deeper than the skin, there be a yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry scald, even a leprosy upon the head or beard. If the priest look upon the plague of the skull, and behold, it is not slight deeper than the skin, and there is no black hair on it, then the priest shall shut up him as a plague of the skull 7 days. And on the 7th day the priest shall look upon the plague, and behold, if the skull shall spread not, and there shall be on it no yellow hair, and the skull be not sight deeper than the skin, he shall be shaven, but the skull shall he not shave, and the priest shall shut him up that has the skull 7 days more. And on the 7th day the priest shall look upon the skull, and behold, if the skull not be spread to the skin, or be a slight deeper than the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him clean, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. But if the skull spreadeth in the skin after his cleansing, then the priest shall look upon him, and behold, if the skull be spread to the skin, the priest shall seek not the yellow hair, he is unclean. But if the skull be in his sight at the stay, and there is no black hair grown upon there, and the skull is healed, he is clean, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. If a man or also a woman have the skin of their flesh, bright spots, even white bright spots, then the priest shall look, and behold, if the bright spots of the skin of the flesh be darkish white, it is a freckled spot that groweth in the skin, he is clean. And the man whose hair is fallen off his head, he is bald, yet he is clean. And he that has hair fallen from the part of his head towards his face, his forehead bald, yet he is clean. If there be a bald head or a bald forehead, a white reddish sore, it is leprosy sprung up from his bald head or his bald forehead. And the priest shall look upon, and behold, if the rising of the sore be white reddish in his bald head or in his bald forehead, then the leprosy appeareth in the skin of the flesh. He is a leprous man, he is unclean, the priest shall pronounce him utterly unclean, his plague is in his head. And the lepers whom the plague is, his clothes shall be rent, and his head bare, and they shall put a covering upon his upper lip, and shall cry, unclean, unclean. And the days where the plague shall be of him shall be defiled, he is unclean, he shall dwell alone without the camp, shall his habitation be. The garment also that the plague of leprosy is in, whether it be a woolen garment or a linen garment, whether it be the warp or woof or linen or woolen, whether it be skin or the thing made of skin. If the plague be greenish or reddish in the garment or in the skin, either in the warp or in the woof or anything of the skin, it is a plague of leprosy, and shall be skewed to the priest. If the priest shall look upon the plague, and shut up it as the plague 7 days. And he shall look upon the plague on the 7th day, and if the plague be spread to the garment, either in the warp or on the woof or on the skin or any work that is made of skin, the plague is a freely leprosy, it is unclean. He shall therein burn that garment, whether warp or woof, in woolen or linen, or anything of skin, whether the plague is, for it is a fretting leprosy, it shall be burnt in the fire. And if the priest shall look and behold the plague be not spread to the garment, either in the warp or in the woof, or in anything of the skin, then the priest shall command that they will wash the thing wherein the plague is, and he shall shut up 7 days more. And the priest shall look upon the plague after that is washed, and behold, if the plague has not changed its color, and the plague not be spread, it is unclean. Thou shalt burn it in the fire, it is a fret inward, whether it be bare within or without. If the priest look and behold the plague is somewhat dark after the washing of it, then he shall rent it out of the garment, and out of the skin, or out of the warp, or out of the woof. And if it appear still in the garment, either in the warp or in the woof, or anything in the skin, it shall be spreading plague. Thou shalt burn it wherever the plague is with fire. If the garment either warp or woof, or whatsoever thing of skin be, it shall wash it with the plague of departed from them. Then it shall be washed the 2nd time, and shall be clean. This is the law of the plague of leprosy in a garment or woolen or linen, either in the warp or the woof, or anything of the skins, to pronounce it clean or to promote it unclean. Leviticus chapter 14. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, This shall be the law of the leper in the days of his cleaning, he shall be brought to the priest. And the priest shall go forth upon the camp, and the priest shall look, and behold, if the plague of leprosy be healed in the leper, then shall the priest command to take for him that is to be cleansed 2 birds alive, and clean in cedar wood, and scarlet and hyssop. And the priest shall command that one of the birds be killed in the earthen vessel, or running water. And if the living bird shall take it, and the cedar wood, and the scarlet, and the hyssop, and shall dip them in the living bird and the blood of the bird that was killed over the running water. And he shall sprinkle it upon that is to be cleansed from the leprosy 7 times, and shall pronounce him clean, and shall let the living bird loose to the open field. And he that is to be cleansed shall wash his clothes, and shave all of his hair, and wash himself in water, that he may be clean. After that he shall come to the camp, and shall tarry abroad for the tent 7 days. But it shall be on the 7th day that he shall shave all of his hair off his head, and his beard and his eyebrows, even his hair shall shave off, and he shall wash his clothes. Also he shall wash the flesh in water, and shall be clean. And on the 8th day he shall take 2 he-lambs without blemish, and 1 ewe lamb of the first year without blemish, and 3 tenths deal of flour for a meat offering mingled with oil, and 1 log of oil. And the priest shall maketh them clean, shall present the man that is to be made clean, and those things before the Lord, at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall take 1 he-lamb, and offer him a trespass offering, and a log of oil, and wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. And he shall slay the lamb in the place where he shall kill the sin offering, and the burnt offering, in the holy place for the sin offering of the priest. So is the trespass offering, it is most holy. And the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering, and the priest shall put it upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. And the priest shall take some of the log of oil, and pour it on the palm of his own left hand. And the priest shall dip his right finger in the oil that is in his left hand, and shall sprinkle the oil with his finger 7 times before the Lord. And the rest of the oil that is in his hand shall the priest put upon the tips of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the blood of the trespass offering. And the remnant of the oils that is in the priest's hand he shall pour upon the head of him that is to be cleansed, and the priest shall make an atonement for him before the Lord. And the priest shall offer him sin offering, and make an atonement for him that is to be cleansed from his uncleanness, and afterwards he shall kill the burnt offering. And the priest shall offer the burnt offering and the meat offering upon the altar, and the priest shall make an atonement for him, and he shall be clean. And if he be poor and cannot get so much, then he shall take 1 lamb for a trespass offering to be waved, to make an atonement for him, and 1/10 deal of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, and a log of oil, and 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons, such as he is able to get, and the one shall be a sin offering, and the other a burnt offering. And he shall bring them to the 8th day for the cleansing to the priest, unto the doors of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord. And the priest shall take the lamb of the trespass offering, and a log of oil, and the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. And he shall kill the lamb of the trespass offering, and the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering, and put it upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. And the priest shall pour all the oil to the palm of his own left hand. And the priest shall sprinkle it with his right finger some of the oil that is in his left hand 7 times before the Lord. And the priest shall put the oil that is in his hand upon the tip of his right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon his thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the place of the blood of the trespass offering. And the rest of the oil that is in the priest's hand he shall put upon the head of him that is to be cleansed, to make an atonement for him before the Lord. And he shall offer 1 of the turtle doves, or 1 of the pigeons, such as he can get, even such as he is able to get, the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, with the meat offerings, and the priest shall make an atonement for him that is to be cleansed before the Lord. It is a law of him of who the plague of leprosy, whose hand is not able to get that which pertaineth to his cleansing. And the Lord spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, When you come into the land of Canaan, which I give to you for a possession, and I put the plague of leprosy in a house of the land of your possession, and he owneth the house shall come out and tell the priest, saying, It seemeth to me that there is as well as a plague in this house. And the priest shall command that they empty the house before the priest go into it to see the plague, and all that is in the house will be made unclean, and afterward the priest shall go into the see the house. And he shall look upon the plague, and behold, if the plague be in the walls of the house, with hollowed streaks, greenish or reddish, which in sight are lower than the walls. And the priest shall go to the house and the doors of the house, and shut up the house 7 days. And the priest shall come again on the 7th day, and shall look, and behold, if the plague is spread to the walls of the house. And the priest shall command that he take away the stones in which the plague is, and they shall cast them to the unclean place throughout the city. And he shall cause the house to be scraped within round about, and they shall pour out the dust that they scrape off of the city into an unclean place. And he shall take other stones and put them in the place of those stones, and he shall take other mortar and shall plaster the house. And if the plague come again and break out of the house, after that he has taken away the stones, and after he has scraped the house, and after it is plastered, Then the priest shall come and look, and behold, if the plague be spread to the house, it is a fretting leprosy of the house, it is unclean. And he shall break down the house, the stones of it, and the timber thereof, and all the mortar of the house, and he shall carry them forth out of the city to an unclean place. Moreover, he goes with the house all the while which he shut up shall be clean with the even. And he lieth in the house shall wash his clothes, and that eat in the house shall wash his clothes. And if the priest shall come in and look upon it, and behold, the plague has not spread to the house after the house was plastered, then the priest shall pronounce the house clean, because the plague is healed. And if he shall take to cleanse the house 2 birds and a cedar wood, and scarlet and hyssop, and he shall kill one of the birds of the earthen vessel over running water. And he shall take the cedar wood, and the hyssop, and the scarlet, and the living bird, and dip them in the blood of the stained bird, and this running water, and sprinkle the house 7 times. And he shall cleanse the house with the blood of the bird, and with the running water, and with the living bird, and with the cedar wood, and with the hyssop, and with the scarlet. And he shall let go the living bird out of the city in the open field, and make an atonement for the house, and it shall be clean. But this is a law for all manner of plague of leprosy and scald, and for the leprosy of a garment and of a house, and for a rising, and for a scab, and for a bright spot, to teach when it is unclean and whether it is clean. This is the law of leprosy. Leviticus chapter 15. And the Lord spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say unto them, When any man has a running issue of the flesh, because of his issue he is unclean. And he shall be unclean on his issue, whether his flesh run with the issue, or his flesh be stopped from an issue, it is uncleanness. Every bed wherefore he lieth that has the issue is unclean, and everything wherefore he sitteth shall be unclean. And whosoever touches his bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And he that sitteth anything with whoever he sat on has the issue shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And he that touches the flesh of him that has the issue shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And if he that has the issue spit upon him that is clean, then he shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And what saddle soever he rideth upon that he has the issue shall be unclean. And whosoever touches anything that was under him shall be unclean until the even. And he that beareth any of these things shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And whosoever he touches that has the issue, and has not rinsed his hands in water, he shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And the vessel of earth that he touches while he has the issue shall be broken, and every vessel of wood shall be rinsed in water. And when he has the issue is cleansed for the issue, he shall number to himself 7 days for his cleansing, and wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in running water, and shall be clean. And on the 8th day he shall take to him 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons, and come before the Lord to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and give him unto the priest. And the priest shall offer him the one of the sin offering, and the other of a burnt offering, and the priest shall make an atonement for him before the Lord of his issue. And if any man's seed of compilation go out from him, then he shall wash his flesh in water, and be unclean until the evening. And every garment and every sin, and every garment and every skin, where the seed of compilation he shall be washed with water, and be unclean until the even. And the woman also with whom the man shall lie with seed of compilation, they shall both bathe themselves in water, and be unclean until the even. And if a woman has an issue, and her issue is her flesh be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days, and whosoever touches her shall be unclean until the even. And everything that she lieth upon her separation shall be unclean, everything also that she sitteth upon shall be unclean. And whosoever touches her bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And whosoever touches anything that she sat upon shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And if it be on her bed, or on her anything that she sitteth, when he touches it, he shall be unclean until the even. And if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, she shall be unclean 7 days, and the bed with where he lies shall be unclean. And if a woman has an issue of her blood many days out of the time of her separation, or if it runs beyond the time of her separation, And all the days of issue of her uncleanness shall be the days of her separation. She shall be unclean. Every bed whereupon she lieth on the days of her issue shall be unto her as a bed of her separation. And whatsoever she sitteth upon shall be unclean as the uncleanliness of her separation. And whosoever touches these things shall be unclean, and shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. But if she be cleansed of her issue, then she shall number to herself 7 days, and after that she shall be clean. And on the 8th day she shall take unto her two turtles and 2 young pigeons, and bring them to the priest to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall offer one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for her before the Lord of the issue of her uncleanness. Thus say he separated the children of Israel from their uncleanness, that they die not in their uncleanness, when they defile any tabernacle that is among them. This is a law of him that has an issue, and of him whose seed goeth from him, and defileth therefore. And of her that is sick in her flowers, and of him that has an issue of the man, and the woman, and him that lieth with her is unclean. Well guys, that's the video. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you subscribe, click the bell, like, and comment. I'm going to put a couple links on the screen. The bottom right is going to be the Read Through the Bible in 1 Year study. The top left is going to be a playlist I think you're going to like. The bottom left is going to be a video YouTube thinks you're going to like. If you know somebody that might benefit from this, please share it with them. You can also share it on social media. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have yourself a great day.